Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Fantastic to kind of still be living the dream, still breathing, and the sun is out today, which is fantastic to see, so I can actually crack on with the video and not worry too much about behind me. However, I'm wearing a blue shirt and the coin that I'm covering wear blue a lot in their logo, their website, etc, etc, so I may become naked. Good looking. Now let's have a look at a few things first. Now let's do a few disclaimers, because every Wednesday I'm going to do a thing called Wealth Wednesdays. Stuff to invest in for cryptocurrency 2019. Boom! You're going to become incredibly rich. You're not really. Now, let's talk about a few things here. If you're looking on this video, you must do further research, due diligence, all that kind of checks really. Do not invest what you cannot afford. I'm not a financial advisor. I am just openly reviewing a coin that I like. I hold this coin. It's a coin that I've held for a long time now. It's a coin that I've been accumulating in the dips. It's a coin that I am quite passionate about, and I've also spoken to the team on numerous occasions for the past year. So for me, as an investor, I'm pretty excited about the prospect of this coin. I'm going to bear it all, the positives and also the negatives. So it is kind of one of those things where you can see both sides of the story. And for me, as an investor, buying these projects low is where people win. Now everyone thinks it's all pink and fluffy. They think it's all, you know, rose petals and, you know, roses sticking out of a bush. It's kind of like, oh, you're gonna invest in cryptocurrency, it's gonna go up in value, you're gonna get a lot of money. It doesn't work like that. A lot of people lose money in cryptocurrency. So do not look at this playlist as in, oh, these are dead certs. You must do your research. And a coin like this, it's got some fantastic fundamentals, it's got some fantastic products, and it's also got one of the best teams around. But that does not guarantee success. The team are working incredibly hard. They're working on a lot of products and a lot of like issues that have came up in blockchain space and cryptocurrency, and what they aim to solve, and they're still an industry leader. So I want to go into it in more detail. I won't go fully into the technical side of it, because for me it's not the sort of thing that you should be getting off me. You should be getting that from yourself. Essentially, you should be reading, watching the videos, because they have plenty of videos, have plenty of like white papers, e-flyers, and like one pages and stuff like that on their website for you to go away and read further. So this is not to shill, this is just to be open and honest. I'm, you know, pretty excited to bring you something that I'm quite passionate about, and this is the coin that I've always said in my community. If you've been following me for a while on my telegrams, which is links are in below, I've always mentioned this coin as my wild card, as my risky bag. I hold other coins that are more at the top of coin market cap. This is my one that's, you know, below the sea, waiting to be, you know, flying out like Godzilla essentially. So that is my plan with it. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about aXpire. Came out in the worst possible time. So one criticism, right? This, unknown to them, it came out at the crappiest time ever. You know, it came out on the market January, February 2018, when the market went like this, and when you're at the top of the roller coaster, you tend to go down. That it happened, okay? Now, when you look historically at the price, it's a real bummer, and it's just, you can see it here. So this is where it entered. It entered at a decent price. It went, it had a bit of resurgence here when the whole market had a retest of 10k, but ultimately we dropped a lot, and nothing can stop that from happening. So it's no fault of the team, it's no fault of any of the products that they've got. It's just, yeah, you look at a coin thinking, wow, that went really low. Yeah, but in its defense, let's look at this from the good side of it. The ICO sold out within 3 days. Essentially, I was a part of the pre-ICO and the ICO because I couldn't get enough of it, and I averaged down my investment. I believe in the project massively, so, you know, I stole a part of it and rebought back lower, because that is kind of how I do it as an investor. You got to, at the same time, as I mentioned, nothing is a dead cert. This could be the world's greatest project in the world, and fundamentally, if it comes out at the worst possible time and the whole market goes with it, it's going to bring that down with it. We know that that is cryptocurrency, that is a risk that we have. But for us as investors now, if you're watching this video, a fantastic time to buy, because at ICO price at 7 cents, and I believe it was 10 cents for public ICO, we're a lot different prices. So in terms of an investment opportunity, really good. And also I'm going to talk about ways you can earn the token for free doing small little tasks and stuff like that. So let's get on to it. I'll probably go naked now. I do not know how I will look with this shirt on and that blue background, but we'll see. Anyway, so let's have a look at aXpire. As I mentioned, it's a pretty big thing in terms of what they're aiming to do. A lot of technical jargon may be thrown at your way now, a lot of different products, and you must try and keep up with me, but again, do further research. Now, it's all based on a blockchain structure. It is all based on the aXpire token, which is what I believe is the best thing about this. I think the fundamentals of this coin is fantastic. It's got a really good coin supply, and they do a monthly burn. These burns are on the fees, so what that means is the coin supply will get less and less every month, which is brilliant. I'm not a fan of coins that add to the supply because that's just diluting it, whereas this is making it more scarce. So for a spend management protocol, essentially what this is, the business and financial model for the coin and the token itself is one of the best around, because it's using the token to do its thing. That's what it's there for. So it's good to see coins do that. So let's have a look at it. So a lot of jargon words, a lot of different cool stuff, financial products and services. You're going to get things thrown at you when you're looking at these videos, when you're looking at these pages. Now it's quick to kind of get lost, but if you understand the financial game, it's a big thing. My girlfriend's an accountant. She's like always throwing stuff at me. I'm like, what on earth are you on about? Spend management protocols and spend management systems and software, etc., etc. All those kind of things are big. They're massive, especially now in the UK as well. A lot of things are changing, make tax digital. And now I know I'm saying about tax and stuff in the UK, but it's always going to be around. As a real use case, this is fantastic for the blockchain space itself as cryptocurrency, because what's going to happen is people are going to get accidentally rich. It's going to happen at some point, and they're going to need something to use to make them compliant, whether it is them setting up a company, whether it's setting up any sort of like tax compliant, or just making sure that they've got all their money in one place, or if they have hedge fund management services that have gone into blockchain services, technology and other bits and bobs. They need advisors and they need help, and it's not the easiest industry, and everyone thinks it is, but it's not. So in terms of their flagship product, it's called Resolvr. It's currently being used by a $24 billion hedge fund management firm called AUM. It's basically to help administrators manage that. So it's going to help manage hedge fund management firms on a blockchain without all the crap, basically, without all the extra expenditure, without all the paperwork, the paper trail and all that stuff, and also without the staff in hindsight. So it's pretty neat, but as I mentioned, we're going to see accidental things happen and people will need services like this. You know, it's going to happen, and people will also be looking at these business ventures, and again, they will need people like this, essentially having their back. So in terms of the services, you've got both business, entrepreneurs and freelancers. I want to talk more about that because that's quite important, and that is a great thing about this. You've got multiple usage for the token, okay? So, you know, you got spend management, Resolvr, you got freelancing, and you got ICO and STO assurance, blockchain funds, business acceleration and custom solutions. Freelancing is obviously more for the entrepreneur. It's basically like Fiverr. I'm going to talk more about that in a bit. I've got some screenshots of the new website to show you. But the fundamentals of it is simple. The token gets used all over the place. It doesn't use anything but. So the token as a utility gets top bonus marks because we want that. We want that as investors. We want to know that as an investor, that token's going to get used. It's going to get used efficiently. So it's not going to get used on the exchanges for traders. It's going to get used for using the services, and that is like a massive thumbs up. The extra thumbs up is the fundamentals of it, the coin burn. Every month you lose a load of tokens off that supply. Great, it's making it scarce, it's making it rare. I want it to go up in price because I want to hold a load for it to get used as fees and not take it out of the budget of the company. I want it to go out of that pot, that valuation pot. Makes blooming real good sense, and it works. It's kind of how the blockchain has worked on Bitcoin. If you look at Bitcoin, what happens every 4 years? Halving. Rewards get halved, it makes it scarcer. This is the exact same system, but just on a different kind of way about it. Just making it less supply around, essentially. So, talking a lot. Wow, it's crazy. So, I mentioned it before, you got Resolvr for funds, spend management, the invoice management, the expenses, management essentially. You got entrepreneurs, you got MatchBX. Now I want to talk about this in a bit more detail in a bit, but this is freelancing, this is business scaling, this is all the sort of stuff that you get on Fiverr. This is the kind of stuff where you can put jobs on, you can earn the XRP tokens, or you can find people to do it for you. Pretty good, pretty neat. And it's one of those things where within business it's leveraging, isn't it? It's brilliant, it works very, very well. And you've also got CoinBX, which is an ICO, STO platform. It has KYC, it has AML, and the payment gateway, which is good for the fees as well. And you've got other services as well, blockchain funds, acceleration, and software. What I will say is, if STOs this year in cryptocurrency takes off, aXpire will probably get a lot of recognition, a lot of notice, or will eyeball, because people will be using this. They'll be using this to spend management for their ICOs or STOs, whatever. And they'll also be using that system there, CoinBX. So it's very, very handy to be around. And also, you've got business scaling, advice, and all that kind of good stuff. And I want to show you the partnerships that these guys have got. It's pretty frightening. So in terms of being linked to them, it's pretty good. Certainly if you're using their products that have been tried and tested essentially. So in terms of key benefits, you've got all this kind of stuff. I kind of mentioned it before, removal of human manual processes, the boring stuff. No one wants to do that. You know, the PDF with digital workflows and stuff like that. You got improve employee and business efficiency. All this kind of stuff helps, and obviously accept and issue crypto assets and all those custom solutions. It really, really makes a big difference in business when you've got a lot of the junk thrown out the window. Literally, you can kick it out the window, you don't need it, and this makes the system a lot easier. In terms of resources, I mentioned at the start of the video, have a gander, have a look, check it out, because a lot of the stuff I'm saying is probably going right over your head. Luckily, I've got a hat on today because that's kind of how I roll, really. I'm just lazy and I don't like to do my hair all the time. So you must read it and digest it, because a lot of the things I will be saying will be like, what? So just, yeah, have a look. In terms of news, I've got all the news there. Exchanges are on KuCoin. I'd advise just using KuCoin, personally speaking. Not the biggest fan of HIP BTC, I don't like it. But as another criticism for them, in terms of like exchanges, for me as an investor, I'd be looking at them on bigger exchanges now, certainly if the market does pick up. Obviously you've got Binance, you've got Bittrex, etc, etc. So it is good, it's on KuCoin, but ultimately we want it on the bigger exchanges. And I'm really, really glad they got off P2B, B2B, or whatever it was called, where they were doing wash trading. And I really, really like the transparency within their Telegram. So what basically happened was they had an exchange they were listed on, and they were doing wash trading, and they were like, no chance, and they delisted it straight away, which is really, really good to see, and very, very transparent. So in terms of the team for doing that, it's really, really good. Very rare you see that in any cryptocurrency assets, to be honest with you. So for them to be ballsy and go, right, we're off this exchange, get your coins off now, this is why, show the screenshot, cool. Trust assured, I like it. So partnerships now. So the big ones, you can see the top three. They're three big ones, right? Why? Ethereum Alliance, pretty big. Partnerships with the Microsoft Partner Network and R3. R3 are a freaking huge consortium in the blockchain space. You must check them out. You've also got Bitcoin.com, that is used by Resolvr, and you've also got Family Office Club, which are a massive, massive company. You've also got Family Office Network, so they're all like big. These are all big. You've also got Ethos, massive fan of Ethos myself. I like the wallet. And obviously Bounty OX is also really, really good in terms of bounties. So you've got a lot there. I don't know fully much about, obviously, the Cumberland. I don't know much about the digital asset custody company. I've not done full research, but ultimately I don't really need to know it as a personal investor, because, yeah, the partnerships, but I don't need to know them all. I don't need to know the figures off the top of my head. So just, you know, if my information is a bit lax, lay off a bit, you know. Come on now. So in terms of the team, right, this is where the good things happen. The team is good. The reason why I'm saying it's good is because of the main element that you never ever see in cryptocurrency coins. So if I go on LinkedIn here and check out Gary, the reason why I'm saying this is because you're going to see something that is pretty good. Why? When I go to his jobs here, right, this here, this is essentially where it all comes from. The term that I want to try and use is, it's got longevity and credibility. All majority of the team have all worked for LSG, which is really, really big, because not every blockchain space is from people from the same place or worked in the same company, so they know how everyone works, they know everything, and they've got a lot of like information. Like obviously, you can see it's obvious, it's all here. They've all got the records, and it's really, really good to see the space improving and having credible sources and people from previous companies working together for a blockchain company. So in terms of how aXpire came about, the fund management firm essentially approached them to go, can you do this? They did, and it's very, very simple in terms of allowing them to develop this for the blockchain. So that's why. So if we look at Philip Knight as well, I'll look at a few of these and I'll just give you a heads up and show you. Obviously do your own research on this, and again, LSG 6 years, it's a long time, 6 years working for a company, so it's really, really good. And obviously they work for Blockchain Warehouse, which is part of the firm. So in terms of this, it's massive. Like in terms of the team, they have experience working together. Obviously do further research on the team, and it's kind of one of the things. And obviously Matt is Gary's son, so that's of always helpful. So again, do your due diligence on the team, have a little look around, and in terms of everything that's happening, it's very, very helpful to know where people's experience comes from, okay? And when you know that they've actually worked for the same company for 6 years, 8 years, whatever, in the past, it's pretty huge, okay? So in terms of the team, have a good look, have a good check around. In terms of advisors, you've got probably two of the best advisors around. You've got Resolvr and Toki. Obviously they're part of the blockchain of Bitcoin, bitcoin.com, Bitcoin Cash, whatever you want to know it as these days. It's all the same in my opinion if it's bitcoin.com, and they are strategy advisors of the blockchain. So really, really good influences to have, really good credibility essentially. Even though Resolvr's had his ups and downs with Bitcoin Cash and his opinions and stuff, he is still a very massively huge influencer, so you should always take note of what he's saying, no matter what your opinion is. If he knows, he knows what he's talking about. Honestly, he does. In terms of other advisors, you've obviously got Shingo, the founder of Ethos, who's another very good, credible person, very, very good product, and it works very, very well with the wallet. So there's the team, okay? I don't want to go too much over it because it gets quite boring, but the team is really, really good. The fact that they've worked together in a long period of time, over nearly a decade in some cases, with LSG, pretty much the parent company of this essentially, as that's pretty much where it rooted from. So that is good. Good system in place already, and the clients are built from that ethos from the back, okay? So look at these clients, right? This is absolutely boggling, right? These are obviously through past and through the usage of what they've been doing in the past, and obviously it's now blockchain. Cool. Coca-Cola, Nike, Intel, IBM, Nissan, KFC. I like the KFC in blue. I don't know why, it looks quite cool. I like all the logos in blue, I think it's cool. Pizza Hut, Costco. Yeah, do I have to keep going? I mean, these are pretty big, well-known companies. Most people would have seen these companies in the past. Certainly in America, they're pretty big, pretty much all of them. Yeah, pretty freaking awesome in terms of clients. So they've obviously had some usage and a bit of interest in information passed between these companies in the past as a client. Massive, okay, huge. What else have we got? We've got information about the token. So this is obviously the token we released in Bull. The boring stuff really, the token address. 65,000 holders, which is pretty big. And you've also got the burn feature integrated into aXpire products with feed. That is aggressive, but that is one of the best features by far. Fundamental speak. I'm a fundamental guy. I like that. I just love that it decreases the supply, so it'll eventually over time create a bit of liquidity pumping, which is nice in terms of how that works. So it's the same as Bitcoin and just halving it. The less that's given out, the better. So in terms of milestones, we're here now. We're in the new year. Where are we at now? There we go. So we're getting there. So established, preferred, provider network across all the networks on MatchBX. I want to talk about MatchBX in a bit, and incorporate the RFP portal. So there's stuff happening, and that is essentially aXpire as an overhaul. Okay, I want to look at this bit now. This is the fun side of things. So there's 3 websites I need to go over, quite a lot. A lot of information will be thrown at you, and I do apologise. You can actually use a demo of this. So this is essentially Resolvr. You can also watch the explainer videos, really good. And this will be brief, okay? So you got invoices, bills, expenses, data extraction, data analysis, data management. That is Resolvr. You've also got the trade reporting, trade recognition. You got shadow accounting, and you got practice management, compliance, tech support. So a lot. Here's a lot. LP introductions, LP events, and AUM growth. That is a front office, what people see. So how does it work? It is a bit of software. You link your company to it, and you do it. It's kind of like a basic, simple process that you get with any other accounting software, spend management firm, whatever. And the problem that you got with real life solutions is you've got to send it to X, Y, and Z people. It's a pain. I've mentioned at the start of the video, my girlfriend is an accountant, so she has to pass it on to certain people to get certain things done. This will remove all that. It'll be an automated system done for you. You put in the right figures and off it goes. Essentially, you can use it as a demo, and it does work very, very well. I've played around with it. It's quite good fun to play with, really, if you're into that sort of thing. You've also got the advantages here listed. So you got obviously the scale, the replacements. You got the fact that it's unique, it's efficient. You can do everything, and it really is that sort of thing where it is everything. Makes life really easy, and also it saves businesses a hell of a lot of money because it's all done for you. So what else have we got? We've got obviously a bit of jargon about the growth for the asset management firm that is using it, the hedge fund management firm. It's quite a big firm to get your head around, so just do further research on it, and you can kind of see where it is and kind of what it does. And then you've also got all this sort of stuff, the advisory elements of aXpire, which is this is crazy. This is huge. So look at it. Look at all them. Okay, huge. So it's more than just a token. This is a full digital business which is harbored on the blockchain using a token that'll do it all for you. Utility, earn it as well. It's crazy. So as an investment opportunity and you're looking for fundamentals of a coin with genuine usage, this is one of the ones that you should be looking at. You should be looking for stuff like these. It's just one of those things that happens. You will never find a coin that has a lot of usage in different sectors. That's what makes it really, really good. So for me as an investor, you've got to look at those sort of things, doing your research. You've also got digital shares, all kinds of bits and bobs there. So, this, as I mentioned, there's so much. It's just so much to get your head around. You must do further research because there's loads of it. And, if you're looking at, like, trading digital shares, they've got fun solutions to allow it to happen. It's crazy. Other videos here, so you can watch the video. You've obviously got the regulation side of it, the ISO. That's really, really helpful. And then we've got more press related stuff. They had a documentary on CNBC. You've probably seen the video, the first link that I put on. You've obviously got Forbes, Entrepreneur, Bloomberg, etc. Really, really good. And then you've got experiences. So these have already worked with these companies. Huge companies there. For example, Barclays, Morgan Stanley, Virgin. I already mentioned Family Office Network. So in terms of experience and clientele that they've got behind them, and the partnerships and the team's experience within the sector, it's freaking massive. It is probably one of the best around by far. You got more news there, and that's pretty much that side of it. So, have a look. Honestly, guys, press the explainer videos, play with the demos, have a little look at it. You've got so much to get your teeth into when looking at this. So, the last bit I want to talk about is MatchBX. This is the smaller side project where, it's pretty much just getting off the ground. Hire entrepreneurs, freelancers, whatever, and you get paid in cryptocurrency using their token. Great. More ways to accumulate cryptocurrency. Great for passive income if you are into sort of doing, well, I wouldn't say passive income, but active income essentially. Doing a small task. If you're good at a small thing, keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it, and you get paid in aXpire tokens. Now, I've got some new screenshots of this because I've I've spoken to them and they are redeveloping this whole website because they're changing it a bit. They're doing a lot more in terms of what they're going to put on it, and I'm going to go through it now and show you. So this is a new website. This is a new one. This is coming out very soon. Been given these to kind of show off a little bit. A lot neater than the old website, you can probably tell. It looks a lot better, nicer colour scheme, nicer listings, and it does look a lot better. I'm going to go through this very, very briefly, but one thing that I want to say is when you're accumulating cryptocurrency in a bear market when it's very, very low, you will find that the tokens are pretty low in value, okay? Which means you're going to get more tokens. So for you to say charge $100 for something, you're going to get quite a lot of tokens for it. In the future, potentially, you may be getting a lot less tokens, but the same amount of money. So ensure that if you are looking at being an entrepreneur, essentially, or freelancer, and you want to actually genuinely make some tokens, and you're doing it on other websites, also put your services on here as well, because it makes a lot of sense. Look at that, for example. Someone to do a very simple, I don't know, WordPress developer, okay? Pretty simple to do. I build WordPress websites myself. 30,000 tokens. Cool, not bad, is it, realistically? That may be 5,000 in the future for the same price, what in value terms. So, yes, it is a very liquid asset. It's volatile, but ultimately, if you're growing when the prices are low, it's good. In terms of the full website, though, let's have a little look at it. Personally, I think it looks a lot better. I've already mentioned that. But for me, it's professional. It looks easy, and I'm going to show you on other screenshots why I mean it's professional, because the search bar looks really, really good. I know that sounds really, really odd saying that, but for me, when you go on other websites, it's quite hard to find jobs, where on this, it's got a lot of search functionality, and you can see it on the screenshots. Not fully played with it yet, but you know, when you look at it from a further waypoint on the screenshots, you'll see. So this is what I mean here. So you put in a random search here. Okay, this is obviously the jobs list. You can find it very, very easily with the skill set, categories, and what sort of difficulty, and obviously the budget. So it makes it pretty easy to find. When you go on other websites such as Fiverr, you put in a logo, you get absolutely millions of stuff, and you get no real search filters to kind of filter it down. Apart from, do you want it tomorrow, or do you want it on Fiverr Pro? This makes it really, really simple, in my opinion. Certainly, if you can put skill and categories, essentially. What else have we got? We've got a few more. This is just a job listing. Nothing really exciting on this one, but again, it just shows you how simple it is to list a job. So if you're interested in it, listing a job is like literally less than like a 2-minute job. You should know most of the information anyways, but for me as a freelancer, you want to be able to go, well, how easy is it to list? Do I need to get all this, that and the other? Not really. It's really, really straightforward. You can see that already. And let's have a look at the last one. Yep, leaderboard. So you got a leaderboard. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool idea. A leaderboard of the top employees and the top freelancers. So if you want to become one of the top freelancers on there, perfect opportunity to do that. And you've obviously got the basis of who's who and the staff profiles, etc. and so forth. So for me, as a person looking to invest in a coin, I think having external products that you can use, the services, is key. Why? Because if you've got a token that is using the different things, for example, let's look at Binance. Binance Coin has a load of different assets in terms of its utility. It has real estate, it does IEOs. If aXpire, for example, does more STO stuff and more business management funds, and yeah, a lot of people are adopting it, it's going to create a utility, and then that will increase the burning. That will also increase people's brand awareness, which will also increase people's usage on MatchBX here. It doesn't work without people, and with people it will do well, and that is why the fundamentals of this coin is really, really good and appealing to me. I found that a lot of tokens, no matter how much volume is going through it, they don't rise because they've got no utility, whereas this is 100% token. It's all the aXpire token, which is fantastic. But when you think about it for the longer term, and people are genuinely using this area up here, which is essentially this bit here, as a business, you think of how much money is going through some of these businesses, quite a lot. And you've also got to think of the tokens side of it. The burning tokens every single month, it's pretty critical in terms of the token side of it. So for me, as an investment opportunity, yeah, it's one of the ones where you should really be looking at. Why? It's got everything. It really does have. It has a side products. It has business products. It has like spend management firms. Spend management in the next 5 to 10 years is going to be probably pretty key in the blockchain space. There'll be companies using and adopting blockchain. There'll be companies wanting to invest in blockchain, and not to mention there'll be people as well in high up jobs that'll be looking for ways to efficiently save money. So this gives them a platform. So hope you enjoyed this. I know it's been long. It's been pretty long-winded. Obviously, if you like this video, press the thumbs up, but you know, hit the subscribe button as well. It's quite hard to get your whole head around this product, so you please, you got to do further research. You've got to check out the videos, check out the resources in this section here. There's a lot here. There's a lot here for you to read through. Really, really good bits of documentation, and it really does explain it in very, very simple words. And for me, I like it because it's got a lot of pictures, which is quite cool.